벌써 컸는 거 봐. 아이, 조금 했는데 6주짜리. 미국 애들도 애들을 참 좋아해. 제가 세 번째인데 이제 한 6개월 됐나?
Well, it is so good to see all of you here. These steps are full. Happy Sabbath, everybody.
Happy Sabbath.
You know, it is a very, very
Sabbath.
special day. Sabbath is always a special day, but it's especially special when it's the first Sabbath of the year. Because we love beginnings. And this is the beginning of a new year. And we love new things and new days and new beginnings. And that's why church is so early in the morning, because we all love waking up early on the weekends and beginning a new day. Everything and everyone has a beginning. And you understand somebody or something so much better once you know more about where it's come from. Like, take your pastors here at Calamasa Church, for example. When you see Pastor Danielle, you think, oh, you know, she's kind of a tiny person, but strong and mighty. And that makes sense once you realize Pastor Danielle begins every day raising 2 children and a husband. And then you see Pastor Joseph. And Pastor Joseph is just so talented at everything. He can lead worship, he can preach, he can play basketball, and you think, how is he so good at everything? And then you learn about where he came from, and you realize, oh, he went to PUC, the greatest college there is, Pastor Darren. But then, you see Pastor Mark. And let me tell you, the first time I met Pastor Mark, I thought, what is with this guy? He has got to be the nicest, the most friendly, the most goofy person I have ever met. And then you learn about where he came from. A strange place called Canada. And it all starts to make a little bit of sense. Can everybody see the tie that I'm wearing today? Do you see my tie? How would you describe, here everybody, if you want to see my tie that I'm wearing today.
It's more short.
How would you describe this tie that I'm wearing? What would you say? Short. Thank you. Anybody else? How would you describe this? Small. Okay. Yeah. Red. Thank you. Yeah.
Cute.
That's right. It's got a... Boy, you've got good vision. It's got a little blue and white, a tiny little logo there. It might be a boat, I'm not really too sure, but that's right. So short, small, tiny, and with a little bit of extra color. You might look at me with this tie and do what our friends at church did. You might laugh. You might think, boy, that looks kind of silly. And you would be right. But what did I say? Everything has a beginning. Do you know the beginning of this tie? Well, my lovely wife is Japanese. And grandma and grandpa in Japanese, you say it as Oji-chan, means grandpa, and Oba-chan means grandma. And Paige's Oji-chan and Oba-chan came over from Japan to the United States in 1960. And that's over 60 years ago. And I think we have a picture from our wedding of Paige's Oba-chan and Oji-chan. There they are, right there. And you see my arm around sweet Oji-chan. That's Paige's grandpa. Well, unfortunately, a couple years ago, Paige's Oji-chan
딸은 되게 크네.
and when he passed away, her Oba-chan, the grandma standing next to her, gave me this tie of Oji-chan. Now you might notice that Oji-chan and I are not
1960년대에
exactly the
왔는데
same size of human,
저
and therefore our
저
ties are
넥타이를
not really the same
선물했는데
length.
제
But I
꿈에
wanted to wear this tie today at my favorite church in the world, Calamasa Church, to honor our Oji-chan. Now you know the beginning of this tie. And so now when I ask you, what words come to mind when you see this tie, you might say a little different answer. Because it turns out, once you know where someone or something comes from, you understand it so much better. And the sermon today from Pastor Ken is going to be on the book of Genesis, the first book of the Bible, and what that book says about our beginning and what we can know from that story. So just remember, if you see something or somebody, if you hear something they say and think, well, that's kind of silly, that doesn't make sense, maybe you just need to know a little bit more about where they come from. Happy Sabbath, boys and girls.